En Cuba se conoce bien cuáles son los objetivos del imperio.
No importa que cualquiera de nosotros caiga. Lo que importa es que esa bandera se mantenga en alto.
Hi, thank you so much for being with us in Mañana Latina. This is presented as the very first and only interview with Diaz-Canel. Why did you guys decide to do it with him specifically, and how do you make this happen?
So we Breakthrough News was there in 2022 covering Cuba's response to the COVID-19 pandemic, their amazing breakthrough in being able to create five of their own vaccines as a small developing island nation, and with a tremendous vaccination campaign that was really the envy of the world, not only just the global South. But so after that, we put a request in to the government to see what, if any, government officials we might be able to speak to. And we were frankly a little bit taken aback when they came back to us and said, okay, what about the president? How about we set up an interview with the president? And as far as the auspices of that, yes, generally Diaz-Canel has not done any sort of extensive interview with a US-based news outlet. As you might imagine, tensions are a little tougher, and often, they get very misrepresented by US news outlets. But they saw the opportunity, and they saw the need to really speak directly to an American audience about their perspective on how US-Cuba relations are playing out. That's how it happened, and we just went for it. I don't know if you have anything to add, Abby.
I mean, we're constantly infantilized by our media and politicians, told that who we can and can't listen to. We can only listen to our allies, and our adversaries need to be censored from us. And, Diaz-Canel is a human being. He has emotional pleas for the people of his country that are living under a crippling, asphyxiating blockade imposed by my government. And so I wanted to kind of break through that paradigm of propaganda that I've been fed my whole life and hear directly from the source themselves.
Was there, Abby, anything that really surprised you about this conversation with him professionally and personally?
Yes, as someone who's been dealing with a lot of Western politicians trying to get answers in a sea of access journalists that never actually ask hard questions or hold power to account, I was shocked that I was given totally unfiltered access to the president of Cuba. What I'm told is a police state. I can't talk to anyone on the ground and get truthful answers. I was able to talk to everyone that I wanted to in the country. There was no one watching over my shoulder. And the president himself, I was actually able to confront him with the main pillars that I've been heard justify this kind of totalitarian policy against Cuba imposed by my government. So it was really incredible to hear these long form answers that contextualize all these things that I never really heard broken down and explained before from the horse's mouth.
What do you think it's always missed from the media? The way Cuba is always presented, and that you want the world to see through the eyes of Cuba after Fidel.
I think what's most missed is what Cuba has done for its people and for the world. I mean, when you look at what this small island nation living under a crippling economic blockade for 60 years has been able to achieve, it's absolutely astounding. I mean, the fact that they're on the precipice of discovering an Alzheimer's drug. I mean, just things that you cannot wrap your mind around. All of these trials of cancer vaccines that they're developing on their own. This is because they've been blockaded from the world, that they've had this creative ingenuity to develop all these incredible things. I mean, that's just a small example of what's possible, right? If they didn't have the boot of the world's largest military on their neck, preventing them from just impeding them from just breathing every day. I mean, the political is completely inseparable from the material realities of what Cubans are facing in their everyday lives. And what I want people to take away from this documentary is really just the need for solidarity, the need to change course, the need to stop punishing people for wanting a different way of life. Cuba has represented just a symbol of defiance against this global order that's being exposed more and more as the law of the jungle. It's a barbaric, savage order imposed by people like Donald Trump that punishes human beings, including babies in the NICU. This is unacceptable. This is a crime against humanity. And I want people to walk away from watching this understanding, a little bit of the holistic understanding, right? Systemic understanding of why Cuba is the way it is and why we need to stop imposing our dictates on Cuba.
Thank you so much for being with us in Mañana Latina.
Gracias.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Christina.
I was granted exclusive access to the president in an extended interview where he spoke about his background, the criticisms of his government, and what it means to fill the shoes of Fidel and Raul Castro.